seated. Spot the liar amongst them, and he said he was the handsome face. Wow. Yeah. There you go at the beginning of the morning. But a couple of announcements before we kick off properly. First of all, those of you who like to go out and have a drag, don't do it out front, please. You'll scare away the visitors when they come in at the end of the meeting. Go out that way. Today we are doing a Q&A in the 10-minute presentation. So listen out carefully and have at least one question, each of you, whoever's for that session. It might be an opportunity to listen very carefully to our visitors and maybe find out a little bit more about what they do or don't do. Anyway, that will do for the moment. Let's move on. First thing up is the Performance League, and that's Scott. Scott, please.
Rightio. So Performance League, for the benefit of our guests this morning, is the internal measure of contribution from the members. So we score points doing things as simple as turning up, so the giving and receiving of different bits of business, converting that business into completing invoiced done work, commenting on our blog, getting together for a one-to-one meeting to know each other better. All those things score different amounts of points, which are reset each month. And so far, 3 weeks recorded into November, let me just tell you where the table stands at the moment. There are 3 of us who have topped 150 points so far. So in third is Paul, 156 points. All the older, not all the younger.
They're still old.
163 points in second place for myself. But in the lead, still 169 points is Terry. So well done, Terry. I'll pass this around so you can all take a gander and see where you are on the traffic lights. Obviously, green is good, you want to be green.
Thank you, Scott. I neglected in my opening remarks to welcome our visitors. Welcome, visitors. We've got, could you identify yourselves as we work around, please? Kieran Baines. We know Ryan Ball and Mike Dixon. Stick your fingers up though, or whatever you're going to do. Good. Melissa Jackson. Welcome, Melissa. And Neil McAllister, sometime visitor. Welcome. Right, okay, that's got that bit out of the way. Apologies for missing that out first time round. The education slot is the next bit. Who's volunteering for that? Paul?
Morning everyone. Who knows what this is? What is it? Business card holder, business card wallet. What also is it?
Referral generator.
Business referral generator. Exactly, and I'm going to show you how it can work. So imagine I'm in my office here. Stuart is a client. He's just going to come into my office.
I'm looking for a good accountant. You don't know one, do you?
Hi, Stuart. Nice to come. Let's have a seat.
Oh, thank you. Or a the seat. Oh, what is that?
I should say that.
Is it?
Yeah. One of my clients is just looking for a mortgage broker, Mike Richards. So I just thought I'd give him the card.
For a mortgage broker? Funny you should mention that.
I'll give him your contact details and perhaps.
Why don't you give me his contact details there, right there?
Right. So, thank you. That's number 1. Next one, please.
Oh, right. Hello, Paul. You're my accountant.
Hello, Stuart. Have a sit down.
Oh, thank you very much.
Would you like to see your coffee?
Oh, yes, please. I'd love a cup of tea. Please.
Right,
Thank
let's go
you.
get one. Oh.
Have you got any nice scones to go with that?
Absolutely, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, okay.
Right, while I'm getting with the drink,
Yes.
feel free to just have a peruse all that. There might be some contacts that might be useful to you.
Very interesting. Oh, look. Here's mentioning of scones. green tea lady.
Ah,
Can I have her details?
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.
So, it's the biggest soft sell since the 80s group. You don't have to do too much to get referrals. But it also works in other situations where, just have it, if you're in a van, have it on the top of your van. Whoever's in the van might ask, what's that? Not top of
No.
on the dashboard. On the dashboard, yes, it'll fall off later. So yeah, just see how it works in terms of getting referrals for everyone. That's good.
Definition of a difficult client. Thanks, chaps. Next up is membership matters. Terry, an announcement and a bit to make.
Yeah, and following last week's Visitors Day, I'm pleased to say we've had 2 applications for membership, which is great, and there'll be some more, and they're being considered by the committee shortly, so we'll get back to those members and visitors over the summer.
Thanks, John. So that will be a committee meeting after the end of this meeting. We now move to the first major part of the meeting, which is our 60-second round. Your chance to highlight your business in 60 seconds. Vincent, our timekeeper, will make sure you stick to this. After 50 seconds you will hear, and after 60 seconds you'll hear. It's only the timing that makes you be able to differentiate one from the other. Last week, Alison won the Oscar. She's been polishing it all week, and she's brought it back today.
My desk all week.
She will be listening hard to your 60 seconds, and the moment it's finished, she will make the judgment as to who wins the Oscar this week. As is customary, we let her go first in the 60-second round so that she's got time to consider all of the other 60-second presentations. So, without more ado, Alison, if you'd like to kick off, and you will be followed by Mike.
Good morning everybody, Alison Bean, Unique Minds Counselling. We support those who are struggling with a mental health or emotional wellbeing issue. And this time of year is really, really busy for us. And lots of clients are wanting to be able to see us prior to the Christmas period. And then January is also traditionally a really busy time that people have struggled maybe with Christmas, and then they come and refer themselves to us. This year particularly is just, the referrals are increasing week on week. And at the moment we've actually closed our books until the new year. So if anybody does want to come and see us, we aren't actually able to see them until the new year. All the counselling team, we need to look after ourselves too. So we're really putting in a lot of support for each other at the moment so that we don't get burnt out, we don't actually suffer from compassion fatigue. So if you do know anybody that is struggling with a mental health or emotional wellbeing issue, please still give them my details. We really want to be able to support them in the coming year and be able to see them in January. So it's Alison Bean, Unique Minds Counselling. Thank you.
Thank you, Alison. Mike Skinner.
Morning everyone, Mike from Blackwater Media, producing video and photography content for businesses and events. It's been a busy couple of weeks with the project alongside other members of the EBF Creatives, preparing content for a trade store at the Homes UK event. And I just wanted to say how good it's been to work with the other members of the group, and how supportive they were in helping out with my end of the work, sometimes late into the evenings and in the middle of the weekends and stuff. So thanks again for that, guys. I'm going to take a slightly different tack with this week's client request. I think it's always a good idea to trade skills where this works out beneficially for both parties, and can lead to long-term relationships forming from one-off deals. And this week, I need some bodywork fixing on my car. So I'm on the lookout for any car body workshops that might be interested in helping with my vehicle in exchange for promotional material being made for their business. If you don't ask, you don't get. So if you know anyone in this trade, please ask if it's something that might benefit them as a company and as it would me. So that's Mike at Blackwater Media.
Thank you, Mike. As usual, there's something I haven't done. First was missing out on the visitors. The next is not making reference to the business card box. And send it around, as usual, to ask you to look and make sure that you are adequately represented in there, and to take business cards that you might need to make referrals in the way that Paul illustrated, which was really useful. those of you who are here as visitors, they send us round this way. If you've got cards you want to pass round, then you can send them the other way, please. With that little interlude, the next up is Richard Reed, followed by Colin.
Morning everyone, my name's Richard Reed, Hunters Prestige Holding Travel Limited. I'm an independent travel consultant. Multitasking. I've been doing what I do now for 20 years. I've developed lots of contacts during that period. I received, very frustratingly, somewhere between 80 and 100 emails promoting whatever their products are on a daily basis. It's extremely frustrating. I don't know where yourself to see these wonderful destinations. But one of the things this highlights exactly one of the reasons why I have contact with this client. They're very good for products in Mauritius. They've sent me a note saying promoting Air Mauritius for direct flights from London. They're working out at £200 a person less than the competitors at the moment. And it's a great heads up for people that I've inquired from that's going to that destination, to go to that destination. That's the sort of support I get from suppliers. That saves the client £400 if they're a company straight away. And that's exactly what I provide. No additional cost to yourself. That's Richard, creating a lifetime of memories. Once more.
Why give me a look?
I'll give you a look.
Yeah, it's
Time now.
the job.
Thank you guys for an extra 30 seconds. Warming amongst yourselves. Colin, you're next, followed by Nick Cook.
Morning, I'm Colin O'Connor. My company is Blue Planet Consulting and we provide health and safety advice and training. And it's been another good week. Did a bit of travelling, going off to Hoddesdon and this afternoon I'm off to Slough, new project I'm very excited about. What we're looking for are people who work in the facilities management industries, people in construction and office managers, people who have premises and are responsible for the premises. What we do is we look at the existing systems that they've got, look at the existing method statements, risk assessments, health and safety, a lot of legislation, 100 sets of regulations to comply with. So what we do is we kind of filter all that out. Look at what they've got, look at their business setup, look at what they need to comply with, and then help them do that. So it's me, Colin from Blue Planet. Just give us a call. Thank you.
Thanks, Colin. Nick, followed by
Good morning everyone, my name's Nick Cook, I'm the resident structural engineer for the group. I mentioned in my 60 seconds last week that a fair bit of my work was to do with designing steel beams and things for relatively simple jobs like the removal of chimney breasts and taking out supporting walls. But I also do designs for larger stuff. I do structural designs for rear extensions, loft conversions. As with all the smaller ones, it's a fair bit of design work required steel beams, timber floor joists, concrete foundations with the extensions, suspended floor joists for certain types of flooring. So if you know anyone who's thinking about doing any kind of structural alteration to their house, please put them in touch with me. If you don't have my number, it's on the card's in the box somewhere. That's Nick, Social Building Solutions for Structural Buildings.
And indeed, you'll probably find his card in your very, very useful.
Well, let's have a look.
Right, thanks, Nick. Tina, you're followed by Neil.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Tina Walker. My company's called Liberty Executive Services, offer a secretarial and admin service. I thought I'd just point out a few things that my company does. We do email and diary management, we do copy typing, we do data entry and database cleaning. Also do PowerPoint presentations on Microsoft or Visio. Help out in events, dealing with suppliers and with your clients, meet and greet and support. Look out for hotel accommodation if you're meeting a client but you want to be there the day before. Corporate events, arranging meetings, audio transcriptions, forensic indexing, transcriptions for court evidence, and all sorts of other things. But the best part I love about it is you don't pay no national insurance, no holiday pay, sick pay, pensions or insurance, because it all comes in with the price. So that's me, Tina, Liberty Executive Services. I'm not 9 to 5 and start to finish. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Neil, you followed
catering. A bit like Anderson, we closed our diary for the year. Had enough people, had enough parties, had enough of severely drunken EBF members having dinner parties in the middle of nowhere, and then posting pictures of it. In a nutshell, I've got a very strange one this week. I currently have a van full of pick and mix sweets. Kilos upon hundreds of kilos and hundreds of kilos. I'm genuinely looking for any referrals of sweet shop owners, pick and mix places, anything like that really fancies a decent cheap deal, because festival season's over and my kids will have diabetes within a month if I take them into the house. So anyone who knows anyone, wouldn't mind taking a cheap batch of sweets, give me my details, tell them to give me a call. Deals to be had. Thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, I won't be here next week. I've got my grand's funeral, so I'll be back the week after. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Neil. Right, well, our next pick is Simon, and followed by
Good morning. Simon Essex from the greenhouse in Crown Street, Redwood, the indoor plant and gift specialist. Last week I talked about productivity at work and having plants at your desk. This week I'm going to talk about attractiveness. I've just put it in the group EBF chat actually. We were in the paper in the Redwood Gazette last week because at the Redwood Business Showcase, the greenhouse won the most attractive stand for the day. And there was probably, I don't know, about 100 stands there. So what I'd like to talk to you about is having plants and having things that make you stand out and make your stand or make your office stand out is really important. So let's be honest, if somebody comes into this room now and sees this business meeting, they're going to be drawn to something like this because it's visual, and then they're going to ask questions about it, and then they're going to want to come up and talk to me. So that's really what I'm asking you guys, or even referrals, people who have got showcases coming up, they've got exhibitions coming up, or they want to just make their office more appealing to people who come in to buy or use their service. So that's Simon from the Greenhouse, Crown Street. We're not just a plant shop, we're loads of plants. I'm still trying to find a little tag thing at the end, and I just can't get it. I need Paul DeLue to give me a really wicked line at the end.
Thanks, Simon. Sarah, you're next, followed by Mr. Paul DeLue.
Good morning again, everybody. Terry Magan from TM Law Solicitors. My office is based in Whitford, but pretty well cover all areas. Those of you who know me know that I'm a member of the Law Society Personal Injury Panel, so I deal with accidents, specialise in that, and also the Association of Personal Injury Lawyers, Natalie, called APIL. So I have a lot of expertise in personal injury claims. Lately I've had a run on hand injuries. Very strange, it just seems to happen. I had one man who was lifting out a box and one of his fingers got crushed and amputated the end of one of his fingers, really nasty, hit the box. Another one, even more bizarre, a lady was putting a car, delivery lady, putting a car through a letterbox, put the car through, as she put it through, the dog grabbed her fingers, took two of the fingers off. Ooh. So what I'm looking for today is I'm looking for two further finger injuries, preferably the thumb and the index finger, to make up the set. So if you know anyone who's had an accident, any accident, but preferably hand injuries and those two things, let me know. Terry Magan, TM Law.
Terry. Paul, followed by Stuart.
Good morning everyone, Paul DeLue, led by Limited Bureau Communications Agency. Helping businesses communicate clearly and effectively is our tagline. Good communications isn't just about telling people something, it's about ensuring that you get heard. However, it's not always about what you communicate. Sometimes it's about what you don't communicate. And this is where we help clients. We help them work out what to say, but also what not to say. For example, we tell them not to try and tell people everything. Nobody wants to go on the website, get a brochure or a newsletter that's got so much information in it, it's going to take them an hour to read it. We tell them not to use language that isn't easy for the people that are receiving the communication to understand. So, for example, we've got experts in various fields here. Colin could probably talk to me for 20 minutes about what he does, and I'd never understand a word of it because it's not language relevant to me. And we also ensure that what our clients communicate isn't ambiguous. It doesn't raise more questions than the answers it should offer. Anyway, that's me, Paul DeLue, Red Vine Limited Communications Agency. Thank you.
Next up is Stuart, followed by Alan Oliver.
Well, everybody, Stuart from OG Networks. What often happens in technology industries is manufacturers will try and push a product or a concept way before it's actually really ready to go to most of our customers. Something communications manufacturers have been pushing for ages is this buzzword of unified communications, everything coming together in one product. Up until now, frankly, that's been a bit rubbish. It's just not really worked very well. Thankfully now, we have a product out, it's a Cisco-based product called WebEx, which does actually bring every part of your telecommunications, video conferencing, screen sharing, everything all together in one product. So you're going to hear me talking a bit more about this over the next few weeks. Unified communications, everything coming together in one product, your voice, your text, your messaging, screen sharing, video conferencing, all coming together in one product. That's WebEx, it's Unified Communications. I'm Stuart from OG Networks.
Thanks, Stuart. Alan Waller, followed by Jane.
Well, Alan here from Cable Pen, your local NRC registered electrician. Now, this week, fairly busy-ish, and just looking for the small jobs on the way home sort of thing. Nothing too taxing this week, it's nice and easy. So, don't be in the dark till the start. Thank you, cheers.
Thanks, Alan. Followed by
Hello, it's Jane Mallion, rhymes with stallion, from the English Green Tea Company. Now, in the past, I've written extensively about the currency of kindness. I feel strongly about this, but there's possibly an even greater currency, the currency of chocolate. Hands up if you're not averse to a bit of chocolate, come on. And this chocolate brownie, it's award-winning, and I've got these today at a reduced price. Every time I bring something, it's at a lower price, and it'll keep for months in the freezer. This has opened doors on so many occasions and made things better. If there's a dispute, chocolate brownie, I kid you not. I sent one to a reporter and got an article this long in the Daily Telegraph. And it wasn't even about me and the Briberies Act. It's amazing. So chocolate, don't overlook the currency of chocolate as well as the currency of kindness. The English Green Tea Company for gifts and hampers.
Nice to see brownies with currencies in them, isn't it? Excellent. Thank you very much, Jane. Vincent, you're next.
Vincent Good, rhymes with wood. We're based in Ganshill, we're the best printers in the world. The greatest innovation in recent years has been the rise of online print companies. The simple reason is that, it takes away from all the fears that people have when dealing with printers. You'll never see a website sucking in through its teeth and rubbing its chin. Oh, you want that in 2 days? But what you don't get from ordering online is the exact opposite to the reasons stated above. You can click here, you can pay there, you can upload your files, but what you don't get from ordering online is events. And it's very easy to be seduced by online printing companies with their very cheap loss leaders, ridiculously low printed items like £12 business cards. But is a £12 business card really £12, I hear you ask? Where are we? Okay. I'll miss out that bit because I'm running out of time. So anyway, I'm Speedprint. I'm your printing god. So come along to a real life printer and have a touch of the feel.
That's it. Can't be seduced by fitness. Hands up, no, don't bother. Scott is next, followed by Brian.
Okay. Probably don't need to give any encouragement for this, but we'll go with it anyway. I haven't had a shave for a couple of days, but here we go. So the Yowie, Skunk Ape, Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot. They're all the same mythical creature, the Bigfoot that leaves big footprints, which is what I've been working on this week, big footprints. So one client with 60 pages on his website now has over 6,500 pages, each one individually optimised, individually targeted for a service and a town, every town in Britain. We've got another client that has about 20 pages, front-end pages on his site. He now has 2,800 of these highly targeted pages appearing in his Google index. Most of those are achieving page 1 ranking position for the thing they do in the place that they do it. If you are looking for big feet, big print on the web, give me a shout. I'll introduce you.
Thank you very much, John. Brian Painter, next.
Morning everybody, Brian Painter, therapist, Pilgrim Hypnotherapy. Do you know somebody who, a smoker, who ever was talking like, oh, I must stop, I'm going to stop next week, or I'm 40, it was Christmas. They'd never do anything about it. Now, it was a good time to do so. This thing would be clean for Christmas. Now, we give a 12-month, written 12 months guarantee with our program, and our success is based on more than 25 years of research and development. So if you do know the person, please give them my card, I can help them. Thank you. Brian Painter, not that was it.
Thank you very much, Brian. You beat the first bell, well done. Agent Spark from TM Law. Apart from doing probate and wills, etc., principally I'm a contract lawyer. So the next couple of weeks I'm going to go through the various contracts that I do. This week, contracts of employment. Contract of employment is the heart of the relationship between an employer and employee. Employers should make sure that they make the contract work for them. The other end of the scale, self-employed people, make sure as an employer that you get self-employed contracts in place that make it clear they are self-employed and stop you being caught out later by somebody claiming they're really an employee and are entitled to all of the benefits that an employee has. Finally, in between the two is the worker. 0 hours contracts typify a worker where you have some of the benefits. Those are the sort of contracts that I can do and prepare. With the lockdown of COVID making us conscious of restructuring as employers, send them to me, please. That's Able Squire from TM Law. And that leaves the last of the members, which is Paul Booth.
Morning, Paul Booth from Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. It's well and truly tax return season at the moment, and a couple of days ago I saw a potential new client. Their current accountants are Deloitte, so a big firm in City, and we've got two companies, and he also needs to quote on his self-assessment tax return. So I was looking at his tax return calculation and looked at it, couldn't quite understand, but I couldn't had to work out figures. Employment income, £27 million salary. I thought, have I got that right? Is it 27? Is it 27,000? And it had 27, 6 zeros, 0.00. So we do act for some big clients, not quite as big as that, but also act for clients who only earn £2,700 a year with other bits of income. So as Paul Booth from Boom Co, minimise tax, maximise wealth.
Thank you very much, Paul. That's the end of the members' contribution. I'd like to give the sisters an opportunity to give 60 seconds and tell us about their business. We'll start with the two who've come back from last week and have got applications for membership. Ryan Ball first.
Hello everyone, my name's Ryan from Connected Electrical. For those of you who didn't meet me last week. Today I want to talk about electric vehicle charging. Electric vehicles are coming very quickly, and as of 2030 all cars off the production line will have to either be hybrid or fully electric. Most companies are going fully electric now. We are registered as a government installer, and currently the government have a scheme in place where you can get £350 including VAT off of your installation of the electric vehicle chargers. So as you can imagine, we're installing quite a lot of these at the minute. Fast chargers, ones that connect to your Wi-Fi, and you can literally on your phone have a little look at how much your car is costing you to charge, and you can compare that to how much petrol and diesel cars are. So that's Ryan from Connected Electrical. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ryan. Mike.
Morning everyone, Mike Hickson from LSA Systems based in Billericay. First of all, thank you for having me back again this week. It was so enjoyable last week I decided to give it another go. Something that I've said to a couple of people this morning which has surprised them somewhat is that the amount of work that we actually do with computers now is virtually non-existent. It's all about the infrastructure that the computers use to communicate. So it's email, it's security, it's file sharing, or just simple connectivity. The computer nowadays, if you buy the right one, just works. When it breaks, it really needs some attention, but in the main, it just works. Our typical clients are SME businesses with 25 to 50 employees with a turnover of somewhere between £3 and £33 million. So if you're one of those businesses or you know someone who is, give them my details. I'd be more than happy to give them some advice and some assistance. So Mike Hickson from LSA Systems.
Thanks, Mike. Kieran Baines.
Morning all, I'm Kieran from Barchester Healthcare, one of the UK's leading suppliers of care homes, and specifically I support Leonard Lodge in Hutton. And I'm very fortunate, I have the best job in social care because I have the least messy job in social care. My job is to promote the home and teach the wonderfully caring nurses and carers how to speak to families when they're first picking up that phone call, that guilt-ridden, emotional phone call, and to calm the thing down, not use technical language, and make the process a lot easier. Hopefully you'll find when you phone a Barchester home in the future that it was a really easy process. And for those that want to come and have a look at Barchester, we win ridiculous amounts of awards year in, year out, and at 240 care homes, we must be doing something right. So it's Kieran from Leonard Lodge, Barchester, celebrating life.
Thanks, Kieran. Melissa.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for inviting me to this meeting this morning. My name is Melissa Jackson, and I'm an insolvency practitioner from Kenway Francis. Insolvency practitioners often referred to as the Grim Reaper. I think someone said that to me this morning. But to lie that sort of myth of what we do, we're actually there a lot of the time to protect stakeholders. Another way of thinking about us is we're protecting employees in a situation where there's an insolvency. We're protecting the director sometimes from personal liability. We are protecting the creditors, most importantly, from any further loss. So a lot of the things that we do relate to businesses and entities that are in trouble, that do need to go through a process, whether it be a liquidation or an administration. But we are there to support the businesses and work with all the stakeholders. Melissa Jackson, Kenway Francis.
Thank you, Melissa. Last but by no means least, but at the foot of the table, Neil.
Good morning all, my name is Neil McAllister, I'm a podiatrist from Kinetic Podiatry Clinic. Been working privately for the last over 6 years, I've amassed over 2,000 patients in that time. The 13 years with the NHS before that, so I've seen a lot of feet. A lot of patients come with ingrown toenails. If you've got a juicy ingrown toenail, you need that looking at or removing, I can help with that under local anaesthesia. If you have ankle, shin, knee, hip and back pain, if you've got any kids with the same thing or yourselves, I can assess how you walk and provide you with some insoles which will help realign you and basically reduce your pains. So if you have any aches and pains in your feet or legs, any pins and needles and numbness, if you've eaten too many sweets and you have diabetes, I want big feet and I want little feet as well. A lot of parents bring their children to see me too, complaining of really achy legs, kids, the child keeps tripping over all the time. Again, I can assess how they walk, give them some insoles, because normally it's going to be due to flat feet or low arches, which is hereditary, and they get it from their parents, so it's all your fault. My name is Neil McAllister from Kinetic Podiatry Clinic, keeping you mobile and active, making you kinetic. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Right, well, that is the end of the 52nd round proper, with everybody having had a say. Alice.
Okay, thank you everybody for your contributions this morning. Written down a few that really kind of like resonated with me. Mike, I loved your "you don't ask, you don't get." Absolutely, you're 100%. Tina, you really just like everything, exactly what you do, listed it out, and you know, really brilliant. Neil, your pick and mix, deals to be had. No, I love that. You know, I could just see you on like a market stall, but deals to be had. You know, I loved it. And Jane, I loved your currency on kindness and chocolate. But today's Oscar is going to go to Terry. Okay, so Terry, I'd like to award you the Oscar because
count your fingers.
I'm counting. Literally, you're not having any of my fingers, all right? I just thought what you do is like literally every week you have a different kind of client base, and this week is so interesting. Well done.
Alison. Well done, Terry. That is, as I say, the end of the 62nd round. I hope you've all at least worked out one question to ask in the Q&A session that's going to crop up later. Right, as normally that follows the 62nd round is Scott with the meeting secretary's reports.
Yes, just some stats really. That's one of the main features of this role. So far this morning we've passed 14 new opportunities for work, referral opportunities. Some of those might be worth a tenner, some of those might be worth £20,000. Who knows? We've recorded a few £1,000s worth of new business in. But just a reminder for all of you, just to make sure that each of those, each time you, like I do, when you get your text message for your business banking, it tells you who's been paid. It's also part of the process just to go in and do the EBF activity record to thank those members who have given you that business. It'd be great for us just to track all the businesses that come through EBF. So that's all that. For the benefit of our guests, on average, pre-COVID, we were passing around 100 opportunities a month between members, and we were sharing around £80,000 worth of business. COVID, those numbers have dipped, but we are rolling back up to hopefully reach those numbers soon. So there's an absolute ton of good, high quality, local referred work that you can be a part of as a member. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Scott. Right. There's no 10-minute presentation this week. There's a Q&A. An opportunity for us to ask further questions based on perhaps the 60 seconds you just heard, or any other reason for wanting to ask a question. Throw it over to the floor. Paul first.
Yeah, question for Ryan, please. Your electric car charging, is it 7 kilowatt, or is it higher? And also, how long does it take for a typical installation?
A 7.2 kilowatt charger is the highest you can get for domestic premises. That's 32 amps. You do have problems with sometimes with lower supply. So a lot of people have 100 amp fuse inside their house, but a lot of people will also have 60 amp fuse. They have to put a regulator on that, because if someone turns their electric shower at 32 amps and then decides to put a cooker on and charge their car, then they're looking at potentially overloading that. So that's something you have to address. And an average installation can take 2 to 3 hours.
Terry.
Vince, you didn't finish because you got interrupted there. Is a £12 business card really £12?
No, it isn't. Especially when you pay another £10 to upgrade from the thin 300 gram card they offer, and then a little bit more for the luxury lamination, and then there's delivery and an upgrade to a 3-day delivery if you want them a bit quicker. So before you know it, you're paying virtually the same as what I charge for a really beautiful. Thank you so much for asking.
Scott. Well, I was almost going to ask the same question as Paul. Is there a particular EV product that you installed, Ryan?
We've installed quite a few different brands. The most popular EV charger is called an EO Mini, just because it is so small. A lot of the chargers when they first came out were great big units, not very aesthetically pleasing. But EO Mini is the most popular charger with the Wi-Fi and everything built in, so you can connect to it to your phone.
What cost for something like that?
The charger to buy itself is £400 including VAT, but like I say, £350 including the VAT. You get a government grant and then you just have to pay the install cost on top. So
If only Matt Barry was here, we could have a question from the first electric car. However, he's not here.
Please, a question for Colin. I produce a fair few structural designs for clients, clear extensions, job conversions, sometimes really tiny jobs. How important is it for me to remind the client or to advise the client of their obligation under health and safety, etc., even for the tiniest job? Are there any really small jobs where they don't really have to worry about health and safety issues?
There's no job where you don't have to worry about health and safety. Under the CDM, as a designer, you have designer's duties, and one of those duties is to make sure that the client is aware of the health and safety aspects. We can have a chat about that. But yeah, basically, health and safety is around us all the time, and there's no job too small.
Jen.
So it's Black Friday coming up. I provide bargains every week, but I'd like to know for Black Friday, Simon, what's your business?
What an amazing question. How I ever knew that question was going to come. Yes, scrub it out. I forgot in my 1 minute. I've got it in big writing here. Yeah, because we Friday and Saturday we're doing 20% off of everything in the greenhouse, and I'm in on Saturday. So if anyone wants to come and take advantage of that 20% and come and see me on Saturday, probably my penultimate Saturday in the shop, come and see me.
So I have a question then for you.
Oh.
Do you have any really large ferns in the shop at the moment?
Further or palm?
Fern, like a, you know,
Yeah, about that high.
Yeah. So you can put in the bathroom.
Yeah, about that high. They came in, that, they're a bigger one than that in the front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Simon, just follow up from your.
Hang on.
No, you're saying about for trade shows and things like that. Not
Yeah.
anything specifically, right? Do you rent parts or do you own it yourself? You sort of, would you?
That's a really good question, and that's something that I think in a situation, if we were approached to do that, we probably would. I think where we probably won't do it, because I don't think this would work, is if, say for instance, an office turned around and said, "Can we rent plants from you? You come and maintain them and everything else." We probably wouldn't do that because we've got no idea what the staff are doing with those plants in between. They could be watering them with bleach, so we've got no idea. But definitely on the exhibition front, where we come in, set it all up, leave for the day, then come back and get it, then there's no way the plants could have been damaged in any way. So yeah, we would. Thank you for the question.
Neil, so are we able to buy your chili jam for Christmas presents, or do we have to wait for Valentine's or Easter?
Because we were quite happy to acknowledge with Mr. Christmas Rush to get the packages presented, like in the Links box styles. We took the foot off the gas and enjoyed a couple of weeks off. And the plan is to launch for mid-January.
Perfect. Valentine's it is then.
Valentine's it will be. It really will spice up your love life.
Another one for Neil, that's for shock Neil. You know you've got a van for us. Have you considered, not joking to say, have you considered these Christmas markets that have been popping up? Is that something you might?
Well, if I can't find someone to do a Bob a Job lot, then I'm planning on bagging them all up. I mean, I can't even say there's hundreds of kilos, but bagging them all up, pizza boxing them all up, and whacking them on Facebook as stocking fillers. So like you get a pizza box with a kilo of sweets in them, or you get those like bags you might get at the fairgrounds hanging out, the cone bags, and we'll just fill hundreds and hundreds of those up with little gold ribbons on them and whack them out on Facebook so people can buy them as stocking fillers for their kids and grandkids, everyone. Advance orders welcome.
I was going to say, I'd be interested in those.
Yeah, advance orders welcome.
Well, we're just throwing it, it's probably far too short notice now, but on Saturday and next Saturday in Crown Street, they're doing a pop-up where Crown Street have got stalls with all local creatives, and they've got stalls available.
I've got the Saturday afterwards free, so
then
send us the details.
Yeah,
I'll book a stall.
Yeah, okay.
I've got the stall, I've got the tables.
Yeah.
I've got a till.
Alright.
I've got sweets.
It's not me, but it's within the chicken and frog organising it. So it's all within.
If you can ping some details, I'll book the stall.
Absolutely, I will do that.
Don't necessarily need to do a deal now. I've got a higher end of return coming.
The other thing is, just thinking about the excellent referral, a referral on from you to Terry, is if people come to the store and put their hands in the air like that, and the fingers come off.
That's exactly it. I could sue their parents as well. Keep Terry proper busy.
That's good. Alan.
Well, if that doesn't work out, Neil.
The Isle of Wight needs weeks.
My partner a very good friend of hers, goes round in his large van doing total deliveries for street shops. I could put you in contact with him, yeah, he could work by the whole lot. Leave it with me. I'll get on the phone to him after the meeting, get his number.
I mean, obviously, the idea of sitting there for about 17 hours, just going two of them, to fill up the bag. I'd rather just, job done. But if I can't, then obviously I'll actually make all my kids sit there and fill up two in each bag until they're all done.
I'll get it done before.
Thank you.
It's advice and a question, actually. The advice is don't get Tesco's own brand sherbet lemons, because they haven't got any sherbet in them. For me, if you get the proper sherbet lemons from one of those old-fashioned sweet shops, when you bite into it, you get that explosion of sherbet in your mouth, and that's what we're looking for. That's the advice. Now the question. The question is to Simon. If next week's your penultimate week at the greenhouse, what are your plans after that? Are you going back to the old recruitment?
You'll put me on the spot. Probably not. The production for me has really picked up. I was saying to somebody earlier, I've got an event tonight where I'm looking after the Activated Seafood red carpet event in Leicester Square. So that's probably going to be my future. Thank you.
Terry.
Paul, Terry. Can you advise clients where they've had some bad publicity, and can you advise them, you were saying about what not to say to people, can you help them? You can't undo it. You can minimise the damage and that kind of thing for our state.
Do a lot of sort of crisis communication with clients, and it's about getting. I mean, you don't need to watch the news with sort of there are organisations or even governments that have bad news. The most important thing is what they say: get in front of the story very, very quickly.
Sometimes our clients will come to me where the damage has already been done. What can do generally? It's not always a legal remedy, but it sounds like it's something where
It's about saying the right thing at the right time. It's also about not saying the wrong thing. So always have to have a chat.
To yourself, actually, do you also offer lasting powers of attorney?
Yeah.
Yes. And then add on, do you offer talks or presentations on those and wills too?
I'm always open to do talks, because I like the sound of my own voice. Yes. Other three, I'm happy to talk to you about anything like that, and obviously happy to come out to take instructions on things like wills and powers of attorney. Often it's necessary for me to come out rather than to committee. So and so if you, I'll give you a card if you don't take on the camera, if that's okay. Yes. Anybody else? No. Right. Next week, it's occurred to me that we need to have a slight theme for our 62nd round, and because Jane has been very present in today's meeting, I'd like you all to start your 60 seconds with what rhymes with your name, please. Jane does it all the time. I thought about it, and I know that Squire rhymes with liar. So think of something for your 60 seconds next week. Right, that's the end of the question and answer session. Thank you very much indeed for your questions. Very lively, excellent. Thank you, Neil, for having all the sweets there. It's helped pass the time for a while. Right, we move on now then to the final part of the meeting, and arguably the most important, and that's the referrals and testimonials. Are you volunteering to do the running, Paul? Oh, great, thanks. Paul will do the running, and we'll start with Paul, perhaps, and work our way round.
Yeah, welcome to auditors, and some of you already made an application, which is great. I have had a one-to-one with Richard, so thank you for that, that's very good. And thank you for the money for an ex-member for the meeting.
Again, everybody. I'm just going to say thank you for these. I'll try and Dorothy considers herself a bit of a chocolate brownie if she's
I'm up for that,
give
Kelly.
her the wine tasting. But yes, yeah, lovely to see visitors again. Neil, good to see you again. You won't recognise the name, but you might recognise my son's feet. That's a conversation for another time. Thank you all. See you next week.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you to Stuart. Does it? This Stuart, and thank you to Simon. I could have just done that. And thank you to the group. What fun this is. I mean, I don't like getting up early, but this makes it worthwhile. Lovely to see the new faces. I'd love to know more about what you do as well. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, great meeting. I've got, right, so thank you for the money to Paul, that other Paul, obviously, because you know it was you. To Jane, thank you for the money for the pot from last week. This obviously for Neil. I'm going to take the dog for a walk through Crown Street today, so I'll go into Natasha. I've given you my details, but I'll get you her details. Because she's the one who's organised it all and will know all the details of the thing. I'm not going to be here next week because of an event on Wednesday night, which finishes at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I don't think I'm going to be here at 6:30. I'll try, but I will be here the following week. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for letting us come to the meeting again, guys. One for Alan. Thank you to Alan for a shower poll call this week. We've also got one for referrals for Vincent for some more business cards. Oh, sorry. Desperately.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
sorry.
that's all right.
That's all right.
The blue's your copy.
One for Scott as well for website. Scott. And also one for Colin as well. We're looking at getting chats registered, so we might need some information about that and what we need to do to achieve that. So yeah, thank you very much.
Great meeting, everybody. I did like your it's like made me laugh. Actually, it made me snort. So actually, okay. So thank you for the money to Sarah, but she's obviously not here. I've got a referral for Aidan. We need our wills looking at definitely in the new year, and one for Jane. The hampers for my wonderful associate counsellors who all really like chocolate. I'm not actually here next week or the week after because I've got clients in London. I'm just trying to think. Bean rhymes with lean, keen, lean, lean, machine. I don't really know. Old machine. So I'll see you at the last one of the year then, will it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, have a great couple of weeks.
Just thank you for the invite so far, and I will contact a few of you for one-to-ones after this, if that's all right. But hopefully see you next week. I will spend the week pondering what rhymes with Kieran.
Great meeting as always. Good to see so many visitors here. Hope you come back and visit us again. Working on a few referrals. Hopefully they'll come to fruition in the next few weeks.
Excellent meeting as always. It's great to see the visitors, and I hope that you're applying because activity records for one-to-one with Paul. I've written out about 3 others, but the members present aren't here, so I'm going to say that to them. Right, I was going to ask members if they've got any suggestions for what could rhyme with my name, but I'm not going to ask that because I dread to think what Vince is going to send me. See?
Excellent meeting as always. Welcome to guests, and good to hear a couple of you going to be joining. I can't recommend it very highly enough. Neil, I might have a buyer for the sweets if the other stuff doesn't come through.
Awesome, thank you.
Can you do this photo? Can you send me a photograph? It'll be a while. I can take a photograph after the meeting, and then I'll send it to her.
Take a photograph
of the stock.
Just go back and go.
Oh, okay.
There's something who might want a load of them.
Oh, no, I've heard about men like you.
No,
back in band suits. My mum warned me.
Neil, I might be able to give it to them all at the best price possible for you. If I could just take a sample bag of one of everything.
Yeah.
We'll see where we go. Ryan, these are EV charge points. Stuff we might be able to jump out on that, but we'll have to talk about that. Mike, owner of a garage who might be absolutely primed for doing a bit of trade.
Fantastic, yeah.
Really good guy, Stuart from Scott here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all for making it an excellent thoroughly enjoyed it. I've got a referral from Mike Rogers, which he's working on really.
It's great to see Kieran and Melissa and Neil. It's really good to see you, and it's great to see the visitors from last week, and hopefully possibly be a phone if you'd like. The other visitors today are more than welcome to bring out. So it's lovely to see you, and hopefully we can do some business together. Lots of things around the table for you. Phil, Alan who knows about that. Did it one way home job for it?
Thank you, Joe. Yes.
Thanks for this, Alan.
Really good meeting today, really good excellent play, if you'd like to call it, and welcome to our visitors. Alan, I passed your details on to a friend of mine. She just moved into a bungalow in Hadley, and she had an electrician go, and he turned around and said she needed new sockets, so she went out and got new sockets. Then he turned around and said she needed new light fittings, light switches. She went and got them, and then he turned around and said to her she needs the whole house all electric, rewired. But she wants a second opinion.
Sure.
So I gave her your number, so hopefully she will contact you.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you for the money for Terry. I'll just pass that over. And I had a one-to-one with Brian. And see you all next week.
I haven't got any particular activities to report this week, but I'm doing my 10-minute presentation next week, and obviously I've got a career based in video, and we're in a room with no video or displays or anything, so I've got a few ideas that I'd like to do, but if anyone's got any questions or anything they don't understand about my business, work or anything, please feel free to fire them over and I'll try and put it into there. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this meeting. It's been thoroughly enjoyable. Anyone who thinks that this sorts of business meetings are stuff you boring, they've got that completely wrong. It's been a good joy and certainly brightened up my Thursday morning. The Grey Matter's working, overtime, thinking about all the people that I can refer people to and things that I can do. So very, very interesting, and hopefully I can come back again.
Another really interesting meeting, and that was an absolutely excellent education slot. I really enjoyed that. It was raised a smile. That was good. It was also very beneficial. That was good. Thanks to the visitors for coming. Thank you, Neil, for coming as my visitor, and I'll see you at 11 o'clock. Free? Thank you. The amputation, yeah. My car people, I know two. Roosters if you've got more like a write-off, or bumps away if you've only got like a little scratch. Referrals, we've got one from Mike Rogers about mortgages, which we've spoken to about that, so that's good. One from Richard about our holiday in 2023. So we've got plenty of time. But
take your time, Richard.
But it's going to be a big one. So it should be a good one, that's what we're looking for. And Ryan, we hopefully could work together. You want Chaz, I also want my mother-in-law's flat electrically tested, which is just bought. That's it, I think. See you next week.
Well, great question and answer session it was. So, Terry, pass your details on to a guy called Tim in Basildon, and he may well get in contact with you. He's having some trouble with his builder. So, where are we? Neil, I'll give you a tinkle later on regarding Jason, supplier of the sweet shops. And got some Show Me the Money, one for Mike Rogers, one for Simon, and also one for Terry as well. So you're going to be from Richard. Great meeting. See you. Cheers.
Thank you for the Ed slot, chaps. Delivers a very powerful message, and it also showed what weeks of planning and rehearsal can do. Really top-notch performance. I'm also wondering what Howard Bullock is going to find rhymes with his name as well. I did invite him in Solvency for a long. Didn't turn up, so now's the time to join before he comes along next week. No pressure. And this is a referral for Simon for plants for the shop, as discussed.
Thank you very much.
And can you mind giving that to Scott?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again for inviting me back. Thanks, Stuart, for supporting me. I have applied to become a member, so hopefully that will go positive because I've got so many referrals, but I feel awkward giving them out that I'm not a member.
We've got loads for you as well.
Don't feel a qualm at all.
Thank you very much.
Great meeting as always. Thank you very much, everybody. I had a great one-to-one with Sarah this Saturday. It lasted about 10 hours. Involved 9 bottles of wine and 7 courses of food. That was great. Looking forward to a one-to-one with Richard today. Won't involve 9 bottles of wine, but will involve next year's holidays. The only thing I think rhymes with Neil Bellum was Genius Chef. And other than that, if there's anyone else who wants to pop in the back of the van to have a look at some sweets, come out with Paul, just avoid any handcuffs that are attached to the side of the van and you'll be all good. Thank you very much. See you next week. Oh no, not next week. Bubba's funeral, the week after.
Good morning all again. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all your hospitality as well. Thank you, Colin, for inviting today. It is a great meeting, and it's been good to speak to you as well. But good to see some of you again. Thank you.
Welcome to all the visitors, as many have said. I had a one-to-one with Tina, which was very enlightening. Thank you, Stuart, for the education slot. Good meeting. See you next week.
Thank you very much indeed, Brian. Thanks very much, Paul, for doing the running or fast walking, as we call it. Right, we are nearing the end of the meeting. It is customary for me to offer up to the meeting anybody who wants to make any announcements. Before we do, however, I know Alan wants to say something, and before he does, and getting in first, Alan's been a member here for however many years, and he's been at the heart of this meeting. Every time I think I'm turning up early, he's always there. He's provided some baffling 60 seconds, and he's developed the like nobody else has ever developed it. But we really are going to miss him. And Alan, I think you wanted to say a few words. How about you thinking about what you were going to say?
Well, pretty much like what Aidan said. You know, I've been a member here for must be 7, possibly 8 years. And it's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a pleasure being a member of this group. You know, I've met some really great people, both through work and on the personal side of things as well. And it's been great. I've loved every minute of it. It's been worth getting up early in the morning for. But unfortunately, as a lot of you know, I'm going to be moving over to the Isle of Wight, and unfortunately, it has come to an end. But I'll keep the same email address, keep the same number, and if ever any of you are coming over for a break, call me up. It's always worth a beer in the pub garden somewhere. And yeah, it's been a pleasure knowing you all. Thank you. Cheers.
Mindful of the joke, what comes out of the back of cows?
Like, yeah.
It's another one, very good.
Oh.
Right, anybody else have any announcement that they wish to make?
Membership committee meeting following this meeting.
Yes.
Last chance. Oh, chocolate crown. Does that count as an official announcement?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. Right, okay. It's been, as always, a pleasure to see you all, to talk to you all, to be part of this meeting that was as lively as it's been. It's nice to be just back into it after the hours of Zoom. Let's see if we can keep it up. One final mention, before I send you on your way into a bright sunny day, is that William Werner isn't with us this week. He sent an email through, and basically his daughter has tested positive for COVID, and therefore he didn't come to the meeting today for that reason. And I'd just like to reiterate, if we're going to carry on with these meetings and still be all here standing in 2 or 3 months' time, let's make sure if you feel the slightest bit ill, without knowing necessarily what it is, although we're at full attendance, don't turn up, don't give it to anybody else who's got it, and that means we'll keep ourselves fit and healthy. Simon?
Well, I've got a really strange question there. Obviously, I'm now in the bracket where I can have the booster, and I've gone to book it, and I can't get a booking till the 6th of Jan. Does anyone here know if there's walking centres for your booster that you could just go and get done today? Anyone know? The people who have had it?
I went to South End and just walked straight in.
You just walk, yeah. I just want somewhere where I can get it earlier than the 6th of Jan. That seems ridiculous.
I've actually, my brother-in-law's had the same complaint as you. And then they keep saying, can you come today? The ticket, yes, and they give you a date. Today's date, 3 weeks on.
Have you gone onto the website, Sam?
The NHS website? Yeah, that's the earliest date.
Where were you
I
looking?
got mine in Cleveland with a 3-day wait.
Okay, there's Fleet.
Where was you looking? Where were you looking?
What area?
What area? Anywhere. I'll drive to one. Anywhere.
I had mine at Wickford.
Okay.
Wickford Lodge.
Bentley was just 3 days. I couldn't
And
manage to
so
go
my
through the first
cousin,
two.
she's actually on the phone service, so I can just contact her.
Is that all right? Yeah, because I'm going away for Christmas on a cruise, and I'd rather have it done before I go, so I know I'm even safer. No, I mean, no. It's the I'm safer then, aren't I? I'm being exactly. I want it done before I go.
I'll ask her now.
Thanks.
Okay. Right. Finally. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. My health issues are very important.
Health issues are very important for all of us. You're quite right, Sam. Hopefully that will help you. That's the end of today's meeting. It's great to see you. I look forward to seeing you next week.